The Buffalo Bills, day 5, and the pads come on in training camp. We like to dedicate tonight's show in loving memory to our cousin, nephew, and son, Anthony Myers. Welcome to Buffalo Against the World.
This is Buffalo Against the World Sports Talk with Kulu and
Cuzn Brad.
Bills Mafia. It's our time.
Act like you know, baby.
Act like you know.
Welcome everyone to another edition of Buffalo Against the World. Training camp has begun and we got a lot to talk about. Welcome everybody to the show. Cuzn Brad, get us started with some breaking news that's going on around the league. What's happening, Cuz?
Everything, a lot going around the league. A lot of people, couple quarterbacks got paid over the weekend. We're gonna dive into it right now. For y'all that don't know, 2 quarterbacks got paid over the weekend. First being Tua Tagovailoa inks a 4-year deal with the Miami Dolphins for $212 million extension with the Dolphins with $67 million guaranteed. And the bigger deal, Jordan Love and the Packers signed a 4-year deal for $220 million contract, making him the highest paid quarterback in NFL history. He also gets $155 million in new guarantees with a $75 million signing bonus. One player for the New England Patriots, defensive tackle Christian Barmore, this was diagnosed with blood clots in his leg. He has retired from football. He announced his retirement on Saturday. The Detroit Lions, Motor City Kitties, Lions left tackle Taylor Decker reached an agreement for a 3-year deal worth $60 million. And update injury out of training camp. Bills running back Ty Johnson was hit by Terrell Bernard in training camp. He needed assistance off the field. Looks like he was grabbing his hamstring. He was visibly upset when leaving the field. So his opportunity opened up. For Bills Mafia. But that's the latest out of training camp. But like I said, a couple of quarterbacks got paid this week. I don't know. This is kind of ridiculous. I don't know if y'all know this, but I'm just going to run down the names on the highest paid quarterbacks in the league. We're going to start off there. First off, Trevor Lawrence is 1. Joe Burrow is 2. Jordan Love is 3. Tua Tagovailoa is 4. Jared Goff is 5. Justin Herbert is 6. Lamar Jackson is 7. Jalen Hurts, number 8. Kyler Murray, number 9. Deshaun Watson is number 11. And Patrick Mahomes is number 12.
And Josh Allen is number 13.
No, he's not. Kirk Cousins is number 13. Then Josh Allen is number 14. Wow. So I don't know what's going on in the quarterback market, but something ain't right. Something ain't right now.
Oh man, eventually, guys like Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes eventually gonna be looking at this like, okay, y'all gonna have to offer me a little something more.
Yeah, the bar has been lifted. The bar has been set extremely high. I mean, I just read off a bunch of names that are not better than our quarterback, and I don't know what their agents are doing and what our agents are not doing to our team. But a lot of those guys are not deserving of that money. Shout out to them, getting paid. Yeah.
I also wanted to include that a few guys here that also were out of training camp today. Rest days for Von Miller, Matt Milano, Tyron Johnson for Veteran Day. And also something really excellent. You talked about, some injuries. Mike Edwards also suffered a hamstring injury. So we're going to see a lot more Cole Bishop, who we talked about today, talked about in prior weeks, and being excited about this rookie safety. So we're going to definitely get into these standouts, because the standouts is the main topic of the discussion, Cuzn Brad. So, Cuz, man, let's go down the line. First and foremost, what have you heard from training camp? And I got some notes from camp as well from a very close source. So what's your thoughts on training camp so far? What have you been hearing?
I like the energy I'm seeing out of training camp. A lot of, again, it's the beginning of the year. It's the first week of training camp. A lot of good vibes going. A lot of, guys bopping around. A lot of guys, having a good time, having fun. What I like more than that is the other teams trying to make fun of our guys in training camp. I don't know if you guys have been scoping the internet. I've been scoping the internet. I seen you, Fins Fighter 2720. I see you out there, bro. You mentioned that our quarterback threw 3 interceptions in a training camp scrimmage. Wow. Well, I mean, your quarterback, Tua Tagovailoa, he looks like he names his cat a regular name. So there you go. Take that with you.
Yeah, I got some standouts. Obviously, Dalton Kincaid is my number one standout right now. Him and Dawson Knox have caught a bunch of touchdowns throughout training camp. They're going to get heavy doses of targets this season. We said this last week. We believe Dalton Kincaid will be the number one target for the Buffalo Bills this year, and he's already showing it. And they're showing that 2 tight end set that we talked about that we wanted last year.
Yes,
we're seeing a lot of that. So watch out for Dalton Kincaid. He's really, really showing out this training camp. So hopefully we can keep this going and continue to see guys like him. On the defensive side of the ball, Kaiir Elam has been stepping up. And in fact, Kaiir Elam, from a close source of mine, has been mentioned to be running with the ones a lot. Okay. Kaiir Elam running with the ones. So that's some good news to hear. He's playing very well. He's shining in training camp. You never know. You never know how this may all shake out. So the Mike Edwards injury is a hamstring injury. So that's a week-to-week injury. That's something to watch for. Damar Hamlin was your starter day one. He's got the most experience in this defense. Let's be honest. On this team, Damar Hamlin is the only player who has started for this Bills defense. That's Sean McDermott, Bills defense. Tyler Rapp did last year, but still Damar Hamlin has the most experience. Okay, I'm talking about a few years, and he started. Remember that year where Jordan Poyer went down? He played in place of him. So he has the most experience, and it's really, at this point, it's his job to lose. What's your thoughts on Damar Hamlin getting an opportunity right out the gate?
Okay, full disclosure, I love the Damar Hamlin story. I love everything he represents, everything we've done as far as Bills fans, for his, the charitable work he does, for the, the Heart Foundation and things of that nature. I love everything he does off of the field. Absolutely. I'm 1,000% a supporter of his. On the field, he is not my starter. He's not my starter. He's not that good. I'm sorry. He's not a day one starter. He has most experience. Absolutely have more experience in the game. Great. Do your job. Cool. But as far as my starter, he is not the guy I want there at the starting safety position. He's not the guy. I would rather put the rookie out there.
All right. Well, I agree with you on that. But I believe it should be his opportunity to lose. And obviously if he's not on par, and we mentioned this last week, Cousin Brad, injuries are a part of this game.
Absolutely.
Injuries happen. We already down Mike Edwards, who's week to week with a hamstring.
Right.
Hamstrings can nag weeks. Let's be honest.
Absolutely.
This can go all the way on into the season for him. So Damar Hamlin might get an opportunity off the basis of that injury. Yep. But I think right now, I've been watching a little bit of Damar Hamlin in his training routine. He looks like he's very focused. So I'm expecting that he's going to come out and play his very best. We're going to see exactly what this kid actually has. I don't think we've seen that yet. I don't think we have truly seen what this kid really has when the pressure is on him. He no longer has Micah Hyde and Jordan Poyer in front of him. Now it's nothing but space and opportunity for you to go out and prove that you are the most experienced and it's your job to lose. So I look forward to seeing him and Cole Bishop battle for that other safety position. We know Taylor Rapp has got a lock on that other one. He just signed that contract. So it's going to be really interesting to see how this all shakes out. Definitely. Right now, it's a 3-man safety battle.
Definitely. It's going to definitely be interesting to see how it goes into the game. Who's going to be out there with the ones? Who's going to be out there with the twos? Who steps up from the twos to the ones? And how they're going to do the safety room. So it's going to be real interesting. I can't wait to see it.
Yeah, Matt Milano looks like he is back in form. He had a rest day today, but he is moving very well, making plays on the defensive side of the ball. Again, Cousin Brad, another guy who we have been talking about. Perhaps Bills Mafia fans, let us know in the chat what you think about this, because I was talking to someone at work about this. If Bernard and Milano play against the Kansas City Chiefs, do we lose that game? Do the Buffalo Bills lose that game with their two premier linebackers? Now, this is really something that I really thought about, and the way these guys started the season together was dynamic. It was dynamic. I had a lot of questions, especially because, we had never seen too much of what Bernard can really do until he really started to do it.
Right.
And we questioned him being a little bit undersized, and he really proves us all wrong. McDermott saw something in practice that we didn't see. And look, now you got a dynamic duel there at the middle linebacker position. And what is your thoughts on these two guys being healthy? And do you think the Buffalo Bills would have beat the Kansas City Chiefs if they were healthy?
I can't say if they would have beat them, if those guys would have played. I can't say yes or no, because the reason why we lost is because the field goal. We missed a field goal at the end of the day. And yeah, they were getting a little cheap, runs up the middle, and they were getting a lot of crossing routes that were definitely working for them. But that game was a straight up chess match. It was who's going to make the mistake first. Unfortunately, it was the Bills, and they came out victorious. So I can't necessarily say if those guys would have played, we would have beat them. Did we have a better shot of beating them? Absolutely. We had a better shot of beating them, 1,000%. But I can't necessarily say we win that game because of those two players. I can't necessarily say that, because we had a good shot at winning the game with I don't think both of them were playing in that game.
Neither of them played, no.
Yeah, so, I can't necessarily. Do we have a better shot? Yes. What we would have won? I don't know.
Yeah. Well, it's good to have both of those guys back. It's going to be exciting to see Milano back in form. A couple guys that I really kind of been rooting for that really hasn't got much first team reps, and MVS is one of them. MVS has not gotten any first team reps. I don't know if he got any today. I haven't yet read the full report, but he has not gotten much reps at all with the first team. So that's something a bit concerning for me, because we signed this guy and he's got guaranteed money on his contract, so we just can't just cut the guy. So it's something that that at least that we won't take a hit for. This is the speedster. This is a guy who's won a Super Bowl. This is a guy who played a big role in beating us last year in that game. This is a guy I want to see on the field. So I'm kind of paying close attention to that. But it's real interesting because, again, guys like Keon Coleman is keeping these veterans on the bench. What's your thought on MVS not getting much burn and Keon Coleman starting at the wide receiver one position?
Well, this is something that we talked about last week. This wide receiver room is definitely deep. A lot of guys in there, a lot of guys you can plug in. A lot of guys are going to be the wide receiver by committee this season. It's no longer one home run hitter, a second home run hitter, and then, we throw the guys here and there. It's going to be a lot of guys we're going to plug in. Probably a lot of things Joe Brady wants to do is a lot of situational situations where you need 5 wide receivers, you need 4 wide receivers, or you need speed guys, you need vert guys, you need tall guys, you need short guys. So it's going to be really a wide receiver by committee sort of thing that Joe Brady's going to do. But I would say, hey, Mark, MVS is definitely somebody that is good to have on your bench. If you need him, he'll be there. Again, we can't cut him. So, hey, if he makes the 53-man roster, he can only help us. He can't hurt us at all.
And we mentioned, Cuz, that making this roster is going to come down to the ability to be switchy with special teams, right? That's something that a Hamler has, a Shorter has, Isabella has. They have reps in special teams. Yeah, this is going to come down to and again, we talked about whether the Buffalo Bills are going to keep 7 or 6 receivers. It's really going to be very interesting to see, you know, what the Buffalo Bills will actually do if he's just not getting the reps that we want. Like, if you're not in the 1, 2, 3, 4, even 5 ranked receivers on this team in VS, I think it's very hard to keep you on this roster, with the exception that you don't play special teams.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, special teams is a very important component in this game, especially with the new rule being implemented with the new kickoff rule. So it's definitely going to make some room for a bunch of guys that can get past the first level, out to the second level, and you have to be able to tackle too. Because this is not going to be easy. This is definitely going to be something in the NFL. It's going to be new. It's going to be fresh. We don't know how this is going to play out once we see it on the field. I'm pretty sure they're going over it in practice. I've seen a lot of different training camps actually having a designated time for this certain kickoff. I mean, I'm not saying people are struggling with it, but it's definitely something different out there that you're going to lead a lot of these fast receivers forward. So it's definitely interesting.
Yeah, that's going to be real interesting, the new rules. That's going to be something to really watch for, to see how that all shakes out and plays out. All right, a couple other standouts, as we mentioned. Curtis Samuel is really doing well. He's got some reps with the running backs as well. So again, here Joe Brady is doing some different things. They're going to be using Curtis Samuel. He's going to be that gadget guy that we wanted Isaiah McKenzie to be. He's going to be the guy in the backfield. He's got some reps with the running backs. He had a really good day last week. Been playing very well, practicing very well. I have high expectation for this guy, getting reps with the running backs, screen game, over the middle game, deep game. He's going to be that guy who can kind of do it all. Really like what I'm seeing from Curtis Samuel. It's kind of what I expected.
Absolutely. I mean, Curtis Samuel's a veteran guy. He knows exactly why he's in camp. He knows exactly what he has to do to get on this team. He wants to be that gadget play, that scat guy, that jet sweep guy, that guy getting catches out of the backfield. So definitely 1,000%. You know, it comes to a point where you're Joe Brady. Do you even put Josh Allen out there in the preseason? I mean, think about it. You lose him, I mean, season's over. So if I'm him, I'm keeping Josh Allen off of the field during the entire preseason. Maybe the second game, you maybe let him do a drive, but I'm keeping him far away from the field as I possibly can. Definitely in shorts, T-shirt, and hat with a clipboard. You are not seeing the field.
Yeah, that's going to be interesting to watch, to see how much he plays, because he's really proven himself. But, you know, McDermott is not above getting guys game reps and game speed.
Absolutely.
So we'll see how that all plays out. A couple other notable battles, the special team battle. We got to see some of Ray Davis in the kickoff return game and the punt return game as well. That's, again, Hamler got some shine out there. And there's a lot of other guys that are going to get opportunity, as well as Frank Gore Jr. got some opportunity as well at punt return as well. So we'll be watching the special teams as well. Tyler Bass. Some people believe after that field goal miss that the Buffalo Bills have lost confidence in him. I do not think so.
I have lost faith in Tyler.
I don't think so. I think if they would have lost faith in him, they would have made a move. I don't think
they should have made a move. He should not be on this roster.
Oh, stop it.
Nah.
Oh, stop it.
Nah.
Oh, nah. Stop. And here's what I'm gonna say.
One job, bro.
Here's what I'll say stop it for. You kick the field goal, you don't win the game particularly. You're leaving Mahomes with a lot of time. He's proven what he can do in 13 seconds. Come back and beat you. It doesn't win the game for you. It may tie the game, but it doesn't win the game. So again, honestly, I think we could have played a lot better, and it shouldn't really have come down to that. Yes, you have one job to make the 3, but you don't get rid of a guy that's been very consistent for you all season because of one miss, and you still had an opportunity to win after that miss. So I can't go there.
We can find another kicker. I mean, I'm just being.
Don't treat my man like Norwood, man.
I'm not treating him like Norwood. I'm not treating him like Norwood at all. There are a bunch of kickers that are. I mean, they're not in abundance. I'm sorry, they're in abundance. A lot of kickers that are coming out of the college level, coming out of soccer, coming out of the XFL. There are a lot of guys you can plug into that thing that can make those kicks. Your job is to kick the ball through the uprights. I've given up on Bass. I have faith. I was a fan. I used to call him a big fish. Loved him. I'm sorry. You got to earn every kickback with me. I'm sorry.
All right. In the punt game, we got Jake Browning and Sam Martin. Sam Martin is obviously is going to be his job to lose. Jake Browning is also a young guy. We had Hauschka a few years ago, and Bass took his place, right?
Yeah.
Who would have thought that would have happened? So now Jake Browning is this rookie. He's got a leg. He's got a leg. He's in that same I believe he played with Ariza. He played with Ariza as well. So he's of that same caliber of a player. So this is a guy who possibly can unseat Sam Martin. So let's keep an close eye on the punting and special teams as well, because it's going to be really tough to make this roster, especially for the wide receivers. And if you don't have that dual ability to play special teams and catch the ball, it's going to be hard for you to make this team.
I mean, yeah, you're absolutely right. And I would tell, my advice to these guys is get as much on film as you can. They're filming the practices. They are filming the practices. They are watching the film when you guys are not practicing. So every single rep, every single opportunity you get to make an impact, use it to the best of your ability. Do not take a play off. If you are a wide receiver or a defensive back or running back, every rep matters. Get something on film. Get something that the coaches are watching and say, hey, do you see 33? Man, he's 33 on that play. He really gave his effort. Do not let up and do not let any opportunity pass you by. This is the week they're looking at the film. So definitely take advantage of it.
Yeah. And another standout that I really like, we mentioned big play Ray Davis. He's really shown that he can catch out of the backfield. He's catching some seam routes from Josh Allen, tight, the tight balls that Josh Allen throws. He's catching them. He's catching them. He's catching out of the backfield. He's really gotten a lot of work because James Cook was unavailable. And him and Frank Gore, your boy Frank Gore, now that Ty Johnson is down. We talked about this last week, Cousin Brad. We said Ty Johnson is going to be that number 2 running back. He's injured right now.
Yeah.
And now it has opened up opportunity for these 2 young backs to get a full load.
And you hit it on the head. Availability is the best availability, man. Availability is key. We need a running back out there. We need a guy we can hand the ball off, take some pressure off Josh Allen. We don't want him running for almost 1,000 yards. I mean, it was great. It was cool. It was great on what he did. But at the same time, we need somebody to take the load off. James Cook is not going to be in on every play. And he was not available. Like I said, every single rep matters. They are watching tape right now of what you guys did in training camp right today. So every rep matters. If I'm all day Ray Davis and I am Frank Gore Jr., take advantage of the opportunity. Because that guy, Ty Johnson, he's hurt right now. He's thinking in his head, I got to get back on the field. Your mentality should be, you're not getting on the field. And if you get on the field, you ain't getting my spot.
Yep. So hopefully we get him back soon. He suffered a hit from Terrell Bernard. Davey mentions the Keon Cole touchdown pass. That was exciting. It's exciting anytime you see a Josh Allen and Coleman connection. We've seen a couple of those throughout training camp so far. Yeah. It's looking good. It's looking very good. It's looking up and up for those two and building their connection. So it's going to be interesting to see how this all plays out in training camp. One more standout that I got to mention, cuz Mac Hollins. I really like this guy's personality. I'm not even saying what I've heard about him on the football field. He's been out there. He's a bigger guy. He's been making some plays, showing his big strength. Kind of like got a tight end style size. And
very tall.
But he's got this barefoot narrative.
Yeah,
and he's out there. He's out there. He's barefoot, and he's saying, "I feel more connected to the earth." And guys on this team, Cousin Brad, right now are saying that he's one of their favorite teammates.
I believe it. I went to the Micah High charity softball game, and he played the entire game with no cleats on. He ran the bases with no cleats on. He was playing in the outfield with no cleats on. He went completely barefoot. I was like, okay, like that. I got it. I'm not. It's not like a Rex Ryan thing, but I like the dude out there. He says he feels closer to the earth. Like his mentality. I love it. He comes out with the whole fro. That's going to look cool underneath his helmet. So, absolutely, Matt Collins, man, make it, seize your opportunity. I mean, technically, you have to have cleats on. You can't be out there barefoot. They got rid of that in the early 90s. But, hey, man, do your thing. Go no socks. I don't know.
But you know what? He kind of has those Daryl Talley vibes you talked about.
Yeah.
Remember?
Yeah.
We're talking about guys who played in the wrong era. You mentioned Daryl Talley, and he definitely has a swagger to him, and that people gravitate towards his personality. Just watching his interview and just seeing the things he's talking about, and the things that he's enlightened in. When he got injured, how he worked on his feet. That was a big thing for him. Is really getting his health together. So I really appreciated that about Mac, but his swagger is infectious. It's spreading throughout the locker room. Guys really love this guy, and this is a guy you need. You need team guys like that. You need guys in the locker room that keep the team gel together. So that's what's up. We got to keep that going with him. So right now, Cousin Brad, we want to give opportunities because injuries give opportunities. So let's talk about some of the injuries that we have. Let's start with the running backs we talked about right now. James Cook has not been available. And also now Ty Johnson is down. What do you expect to see from, first of all, let's just start with the top two right now, Ray Davis and Frank Gore Jr. We know what Ray is doing. How do you feel about Frank Gore Jr. right now?
I like Frank Gore Jr. I like him as the inside the tackles type of guy. 3rd and 4, 2nd and 6, 1st and 10. I like the guy to bang in there and get those garbage yards that nobody really cares about, but they're absolutely necessary. So I like him as far as that goes. And he's a little shifty guy. Guy can sneak behind the lineman and get past those defensive linemen and linebackers to get to the second level. So I definitely like what he brings to the table. Ray Davis, I mean, they call him All Day Ray for a reason. All Day Ray for a reason. The man, once he gets to the second level, if you don't put a hat on this dude, and I'm talking about a hat, I'm not talking about an arm tackle, and with the new rule, you can't do the hip thing anymore. So unless you get him, wrap him up, he's pretty much gone. So I like what I see. Hopefully they run some – I want to see more counter trays with Ray Davis. A lot of guys with guards pulling, tackles pulling, more outside the tackle sort of thing with Ray Davis. I like Frank Gore is more of an inside runner sort of thing, tough yardage guy. That's what I'm looking forward to see when it comes out of our backfield. Yeah.
And also we talked about the injury to Mike Edwards, safety on the defensive side. This opens up opportunities for guys like Cole Bishop, Damar Hamlin to really come in there and not have the pressure of a Super Bowl champion, 2-time Super Bowl champion, and Mike Edwards being there. Now, this is going to be real interesting. When you talk about prototypical size, Cole Bishop is it. He is it. When you talk about tackling ability, Cole Bishop is it. One thing we have to see consistently from Cole Bishop is his ball skills. He did have a pass breakup on Friday. And he had a drop interception that he could have had as well. To me, he still has shown his ability in his knack to get to the ball and fly to the ball. So I kind of like that for him.
I agree. I mean, I agree. We need to see the ball skills, but I'm gonna be honest with you, Cole. We're not expecting you to make interceptions, bro. Knock it down is fine. I'm cool with a knockdown. Make the tackles that you're supposed to make. I'm cool with a knockdown. If you get a pick, great. But as long as you knock the ball down, I don't care what you do. Swat the ball, knock it down. Don't get beat. Know your assignment. Don't make any bonehead plays and make the tackles. That's all you have to do. That's all you have to do. No one's expecting you to go out there and pick a bunch of balls off. We're not expecting that. Go out there, make your reads, find your zone, make the tackles, knock them down, do what you have to do. Don't worry about the interceptions.
Yeah, and I think it's going to be a real good opportunity for this kid. He's a smart, instinctive player. He's a hard hitter. He's tenacious. He makes plays on the ball, but it's just got to be consistent when the ball's in the air. So I think that's going to be real interesting to see. Right now, let's get into our Bills Mafia roll call. Where are you listening to us at? Where are you, Bills Mafia? Where are you at?
The reach is strong. The mafia is deep. The mafia rolls deep. Wherever you at, and if this is your first time watching our show, put a little 1 next to it. Let us know this is your first time. We welcome you to our show. We love all the support, all the love we get. And also make sure you like, share, and subscribe, and hit the notification bell to get all updates on every show we do every Monday at 7 p.m. here on the Built and Buffalo.
585 is in the BI. What's going on, Rochester?
We love it.
Mafia
Rock
County,
City,
Buffalo is in the building.
You know what it is. You know what it is.
Sandra King, what's going on? Y'all know we are in the 716 as well. So big love to the 716 family.
You see the hat.
716 Davey is in the building. What's going on, Davey?
All right. We appreciate it.
Yeah, because just a lot of standout players. Really some guys that have some disappointments too. And I gotta mention this because is Connor McGovern. Connor McGovern has really struggled at the center position. He's supposed to be the starting center this year. He has really struggled with just snapping the ball to Josh Allen. This is going to be a real tough decision. We're going to see if Van Pran will get a shot at playing center. But right now, because it's really not looking good. You know, he's had Mitch Morse for a long time. Right, and Mitch Morse gave him that consistency with putting the ball in his hand. There was never no problem there. Now he's got a new guy stepping in at center, and you know Josh Allen's got to track the ball when it's being snapped. Not a good sign already. What's your thoughts on that?
I mean, it's week 1 of training camp. It's week 1 of training camp. He'll get it. He'll get it down. Yeah, it can throw the rhythm of a playoff. Yeah, it can throw the routine and some of the timing off. It's week 1 of training camp. If what's his name? What's his name? Van Pran? Yeah. Van Pran Granger. You know, whoever Josh feels comfortable with is going to be the starter. I mean, Connor McGovern, yeah, we're linking you. This is a new position. You got to get the ball back there. Josh Allen has to feel comfortable with you. I mean, not only do you have to block, you have to call out the audibles. You got to call out the bunch formations. You got to call out the mics. You got to call out the wills. So, I mean, a lot of pressure is on you, but it's only week 1. Let's wait till it's in week 3, maybe week 4. We'll say, okay, maybe we should go a different way. I'm not worried right now with that.
Yeah, it's going to be really interesting to see how this whole thing plans out. But you got to have camaraderie with your center. That's going to be problems, and you better believe teams are watching that. Teams, especially in your division, are going to be watching how this Josh Allen, and Josh Allen likes to work out a shotgun. Maybe he's got to track the ball over here and track the ball over here and track the ball down there. He can't go through his reads the proper way and read the defense the proper way if he's got to worry about that. So that's going to be a real big problem that I'm afraid for. So McGovern, if you're going to play center, if they're going to keep McGovern at center, they got to get that worked out one way or the other. So we'll see how that all plays out. So we talked about Cole Bishop getting an opportunity. We talked about Ray Davis and also Ray Davis getting an opportunity with James Cook being out, and also Ty Johnson getting an injury. I believe it was a head injury for Ty Johnson. So it
was a hamstring injury.
A hammy for him?
He was grabbing his hand. He was grabbing his hamstring.
Okay.
The report said he was grabbing his hamstring. I mean, we don't know how serious it was. He was in pain. He was frustrated, and he was grabbing it. We haven't got an injury report yet. Right now, all we know is he was helped off the field, and he was grabbing his hamstring. That's all.
Okay. All right. So that'll lead us to our hater.
If there's any haters in here right now that don't have nobody to hate on, feel free to hate on me.
Keep the hate comment. Buffalo Against the World show.
Turn me up some more so my haters can hear.
All right, hater of the week. Let's get it going. Cousin Brad, I got a hater of the week this week, cousin. If you got one, put it out there. I'm going to whoever this unanimous, unnamed person who said Josh Allen was overrated. Okay, here we go. Rich Eisen threw this out there. He said, this is a top 5 quarterback every single year. Yeah. How do you say he's overrated? Statistically, what he means to his team, the fierce warrior that he's always been. How do you get overrated? Like, where do you get that from? So whoever you are, Mr. Anonymous GM of whatever team, you are this week's Buffalo Against the World's Hater of the Week. Cousin Brad, who you got?
All right, so this is not coming to the defense of one of our most hated rivals, but my hater of the week has to go to the Las Vegas Raiders, and they brought out the Kermit Muppet in training camp, dressed like Patrick Mahomes, had the fro on and everything. I wish we had a picture of it. Too bad we don't have a picture of it. It was pretty hilarious. I can't lie. The Las Vegas Raiders had the Kermit the Frog Muppet out there in training camp, making videos about it, saying, "Hey, I'm here." A little hilarious, but I mean, he's owned the division. Now, to be fair, I love the energy. I respect the energy. I love Coach Antonio Pierce. I love everything he did since he's taken over that team. They were undefeated with him at the helm, and he's doing great things at the end. They're definitely on the rise. But don't poke the frog. You don't poke the frog. Patrick Mahomes said in the interview, quote, "It's going to get handled when it gets handled." Now, it's all fun and games. He dropped 50 on y'all. Just saying. Just saying.
Don't poke the bear. Don't poke the bear. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. I keep telling people, man, you got to be careful when you poke great players, man. Hey. You got to be really careful when you talk to great players, especially championship caliber players. Exactly. It ain't something to be joking with. Don't be a hater out here. Don't be a hater.
To quote one of my favorite rappers, do not bark up that tree. That tree will fall on you. So that is my hater of the week, the Las Vegas Raiders.
All right, so let's go to the Winner Sin segment. And Cousin Brad, we've talked about previously, McDermott doesn't like to particularly start rookies. Keon Coleman, day one, wide receiver 1 in training camp. Is this a win or a sin for Buffalo?
This is definitely a sin. You don't put him – he's not ready. He's not ready. I love everything this kid is doing. I love the swagger. I love the energy he brings. I love everything about this kid talent-wise, off the field-wise. Great energy. Bro, that's not Miami down there. That's not Miami University. That's not the U. Those are the Dolphins. That's not Maryland out there. That's Baltimore. Like, bro, this is the NFL. It takes a special kind of cat to come in day one. I don't think you're ready for it yet. So I think it's definitely a sin.
I'm going to say it's a win because I think you're showing that you really trust this young guy. And Josh Allen's got his hand in this, right?
I understand.
So it may have been Josh Allen's decision to, being part of this decision. And these other guys can say, hey, this rookie day one is better than us. I don't think so. And they're going to play harder. They're going to play harder when these guys like Claypool, MVS, when they get an opportunity. Let's see him go outwork this kid. Let's go see him outwork the Bills' first draft pick, even though it was a second-round draft pick. Let's see him go do it. So I think it's an absolute win. It's a young player who, when he's talked the big game, but he's really showed it since he's got here. However, when you want to cut it, slice it, he's really shown that he's a dynamic player on the field.
And I hope he is. I think he's going to have an outstanding career when he gets out here. But I don't think he's ready for that yet. It looks great in training camp when you're in shorts and sweatpants and, jerseys and stuff like that. It looks great. But when you get on that uniform and it's Sunday and you got Sauce Gardner, across from you, I don't know if it's going to be that same energy, man. It gets scary. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, man, it gets scary when you're playing. But you know what? I really, he's another guy, personality guy. We talked about Matt Collins, and he's same way, personality guy. The difference is, I just think his playmaking ability is his ceiling is a lot higher than a Matt Collins. So
definitely, his ceiling is higher. He's a rookie. He's a fresh and Florida State guy. Played at Michigan State for a couple of years. Dude's got some skills. I'm not knocking his skills, but But you throw them out there too early, you start dropping some passes, you get some guys out there that can cover, start knocking balls away, it can really hurt your confidence, it can really set you back earlier in your career. Definitely want to ease them into it as quickly as you can. Let him get a couple of screens, maybe some catches across the middle, a couple slant routes. Get his feet wet a little, little by little. Don't hurt his confidence.
Definitely. It's going to be very interesting to see how that wide receiver group really shakes out. I'm really keeping my eye on it because, again, a lot of people have been, divided about the Stephon Diggs thing and letting Stephon Diggs go and not having a definitive replacement for him, so to speak. And this team is going to be receiver by committee.
Yeah,
get over it. All the
Stephon Diggs, real quick. Hey, Steph, how's it feeling, Texas in July? Is it 110? You enjoying it out there? Yeah. From Maryland to Minnesota to Buffalo. How's it feel in July in Texas? Pretty hot, huh? Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think he might be regretting a few things nowadays. Yeah. But, I think it's, Cousin Brad said he believes it's a sin. I believe it's a win for Buffalo. Cousin Brad mentioned that, hey, look, don't put too much pressure on this young man just yet. I think
don't put too much pressure on him. Just, again, you throw him out there too early. He's the AFC East corner-wise and defensive back-wise, there are a lot of great defensive backs in this division. I mean, you can go down the list. You put him out there with some guys, and I'm not doubting his ability, but I don't want him to doubt his ability. Because once those corners get inside his head, he starts dropping passes. He takes a couple hits, ball's knocking out. They're getting in his head. That can really hurt him. Let him wet his beak a little bit. Let's see how he does. Bring him along slow. He'll have a good career.
Yeah. All right, so that will lead us to the next part of our segment, which is the Bills Mafia Trivia, which will start right now.
The party starts in 3, 2, 1.
All right, Bills Mafia, if you are ready, Bills Mafia Trivia is on its way. And remember the rules, there are no Googling. This is based off your Buffalo Bills knowledge. So leave your comments down below, and we will let you know. Here we go. And here it is, Bills Mafia Trivia. Who was the first Buffalo Bill retired player to become a successful TV broadcaster? This one is going to be very interesting. I know a lot of names that people are going to say, but let's see if y'all say the right name. First Buffalo Bill retired player to become a successful TV broadcaster. So this is, we've had a few. We've had a few. But I'm saying the first. We still got one right now.
Yeah.
We have one right now. But actually, we got two right now. We got two right now.
Yeah, we do actually. Actually, we do. Yeah.
So
no. Yeah. Oh no. Well, he's from Buffalo, but he didn't play for us. Okay, never mind.
All right.
I was going to mention the Moose. The Moose is from Buffalo. He's not. He didn't play for us though. He played against us in the Super Bowl a couple times.
All right, we got a couple answers out here.
Let's
let a couple more come in, and I'm gonna start posting them. Give me some answers. Who was the first Buffalo Bill retired player to become a successful TV broadcaster? We have a couple. We have a couple
in there. Got a couple in there.
All right. So Sandra says Van Miller. Cousin Brad, was it Van Miller?
It was not. It was not. Love where your head is. Love where your head is. But it was not Van Miller. It was not
Van Miller. Did not play for the Buffalo, but he might as well.
As far as the broadcasting, he's in the top 3 as far as broadcasting. There are only few Van Millers in this world. Shout out to Van Miller. Rest in peace. Definitely. It's not him.
All right. My man Scott Banker got it correct. Paul McGuire. Who remembers Paul McGuire, guys, and all the work that he's done throughout television? I mean, this guy was with Marv Albert.
What position he played for? He played. There we go. There he is. Yeah. Paul McGuire. Love him. Love him. Look at that greatness. Look at that uniform. Look at that standing Buffalo. Look at that guy right there standing on the side. Look at that. Man, it's a punter. Paul McGuire. Shout out to him. ESPN, longtime ESPN guy. Used to love calling Bills football games. Used to love hearing him, Joe Theismann, and the other guy. I forgot his name. But him, Joe Theismann, and the other guy. Those guys were great on ESPN.
You know, and this is something about McGuire that a lot of people don't know. He was in the 60. He won the AFL championship with the Buffalo Bills in 64 and 65.
Yeah.
So back-to-back AFL champion. Went on to be a successful broadcaster. He was the first guy from the Buffalo Bills, a champion. This is a champion, y'all.
Yeah, AFL champion.
Definitely AFL, not NFL.
AFL. Yeah, AFL.
AFL champion. Went on to commentate. He worked a lot with Marv Albert. Marv Albert was one of my favorite guys. One of my favorite sportscasters of all time. So definitely shout out to Big Paul McGuire. He was definitely a great broadcaster. Scott, you are the winner of this week's Bills Mafia Trivia. So shout out to you, Scott, man. Knowing your Bills history, because that's what it's all about. You don't know where you come from, you won't know where you're going. You know what I'm saying? So knowing our history, great history from those guys. Van Miller was a good guest, but he did not play football, unfortunately. All right, so Cuz, this leads us to our last segment of the day, and this one gonna take some time. So this is why I kind of saved this one, Cuz.
All right.
We talked about this a few days ago. I sent you a text a few days ago, so I hope you got your list together.
I got my list.
All right, so Bills Mafia, I need 5. Who are your top 5 Buffalo Bill draft picks of all time? Top 5. All right.
Okay.
Cuzn Brad.
So are we gonna draft 5 players? Like I pick one, you pick one, and then we agree on a 5th one? How are we gonna do this?
Yeah, we can do that.
You want 5 or you want 5? I got 5.
I think we got to do it together. Let's do it together.
Okay. All right.
Do it together.
We gotta agree. We gotta agree.
Okay.
We
Go
gotta
ahead.
agree.
Who you got for number 1? I mean, let's start at number 5.
We're gonna start at 5. We're gonna start at 5. All right. At number 5, I am going to draft O.J. Simpson out of USC. USC Heisman Trophy winner. Big fan of his movies. He was in Roots. He was in Naked Gun. All of them. Shout out to him. And there are other stuff that you can Google that will come up. But O.J. Simpson is my number 5 draft pick of the Buffalo Bills out of USC. Love it.
I agree with that. I agree. I'm in on that.
Okay.
Let me do number 4. I got number 4.
Go ahead.
Number 4. Tick-tock. Andre Reed. Andre Reed will be my number 4 all-time Bills draft pick.
Okay.
Number 1 receiver in yards and receptions all time for the Buffalo Bills. Gotta be on that list. Gotta be on that list.
Okay. Respect it. Okay, so we're gonna do 5. Can we get a wild card after this? Can we get a wild card?
We can get a wild card.
Okay, so you got Andre. Okay, so number 3 on my list. I'm gonna stay in the backfield. I'm gonna say Thurman Thomas at number 3. Number 3 out of Oklahoma State. Started over Barry Sanders. Yeah, we remember he started over Barry Sanders out of Oklahoma State. Got to go with Thurman Thomas at the number 3 spot. I'm gonna stay in the backfield.
He was an MVP.
He was one of the few running backs that ever done that. So I would go with number 3 as Thurman Thomas.
You're killing me here. All right, yeah, Terminator. Terminator was an MVP. Led the league in total yards 4 seasons in a row. And I believe it actually was 5 seasons in a row. And until he was the only player to do that until Damian Thomason came and did it as well.
Yep.
This is where it gets thick.
Okay.
This is where it gets thick right here. All right. Because there's 3 guys that are forever etched in our memory all time.
I mean, do we have to mention one? Cause I mean, it just goes without saying. He just goes without saying. Like, come on, man.
I mean, I'm.
We already know who number one.
I am going. I gotta go Jimbo. 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 I gotta go Jimbo, bro. I got to. I gotta go Jimbo. I got to, man.
I don't know.
I think you already know who my number one is.
And we know who number one is. We know who number one is. We get it. We know who number one is.
So leave number one alone.
Yeah.
You got to figure out number two.
Bruce is number one. Bruce is number one. Let's just say it. Bruce is number one. Bruce is number one. He went number one overall out of Virginia Tech. Okay.
The greatest Bill ever. He's the greatest Bill ever. Let's just leave that where it is.
Yeah. I mean,
to date, till somebody changes that, but to date, Bruce Smith is the greatest Bill of all time.
Okay,
so let's leave. So we got number one is figuring out this number two thing.
Okay. See, I'm conflicted because yes, everything Jim Kelly did on the field, he didn't come straight to us like he was supposed to. We drafted him. He didn't even want to be here.
Does that matter?
It kind of doesn't. It doesn't matter. Okay. It doesn't matter. All right, we can go. We can go Jim at 2. We can go Jim at 2. Out of Miami, the U.
All right, so our 5 is Bruce Smith, number 1. Jim Kelly, number 2. Though I would swap Jim Kelly and Thurman Thomas. I really believe Thurman Thomas was more of a dominator at his position in that year. And you got to figure the dual threat that he was in receiving the ball, blocking, and running the football. Mm-hmm. He may have been the most important person on that offense.
I don't know. Yeah. And then you can make an argument for Kelly too, but Kelly was hurt in a lot of those playoff games, and we still won, Oilers. But I don't know. I would keep Kelly at 2. I would keep Thurman at 3. You put Reed at 4. Mm-hmm. I'm sorry. I love Andre Reed. I love everything he accomplished. I guess you can keep him at 4. I don't know. All
right, so let's talk about this then.
Okay.
So out of the 5 players that are on this list, mm-hmm. we know who's missing. Josh Allen.
Yeah, and it's year 6, so mm-hmm. I can't put him in there yet. I can't. I just can't put him in there yet. I want to so bad, and it's somebody we need to talk about who we did draft, and he was a 4th round pick, Kyle Williams.
Nah, not top 5. Not top 5.
Oh, before
not top 5.
Can I cook? Can I cook really quick? Can I cook?
Go ahead.
Can I cook?
Go ahead.
4th round pick. Nobody expected anything out of him. He earned every second of playing time. Ended up being one of the best defensive tackles in the league, and one of the greatest leaders that we've had in a long time.
Who are you taking out of this list for Kyle Williams? That's all.
I mean, I would take out OJ.
No, you won't. You're not taking out nobody that's made the playoffs. Kyle Williams with the playoffs.
He did.
One time.
He earned it.
One time. No. Nobody from the from the early 2000s is getting in the top 5 Bills league. I can't let you do that.
I like Kyle Williams. I think he earned it. If you talk about a dude who earned it from the bottom up, you can't leave. You can't leave.
I like Junie's point here, though. Junie says you can leave out OJ out of the top 5.
He said you can't. You can't leave.
Okay, you can't leave out OJ. You really can't. I mean, to do what him and the Electric Company did, I mean,
yeah,
it's never, even though they didn't win a Super Bowl and it's never been done at that time.
Yeah,
I mean, you got to figure when OJ retired, he was considered the greatest running back of all time.
Yeah, I mean, we gotta leave OJ in. All right, so do we get a wild card?
I mean, look,
We had to draft a player. You didn't say he had to stay on the team. You said we had to draft him.
I mean, we know the wild card. Okay, go ahead.
Wild card, future Hall of Famer, Jason Peters. We drafted him as a tight end. Went on to be one of the greatest left tackles in football ever. Future Hall of Famer. Hall of Famer.
That's deep. Yeah,
that is my wild card.
Does it count when he didn't become, a Bills great, particularly as
he was good. He was
really good. He was a Pro Bowl player, but he wasn't
and they got traded to Philly because he wanted more money. He became great. He started out as a tight end. He was a 7th round pick, tight end. Caught J.P. Lawsman's first touchdown ever. That would have been a great question for the research there. Who caught J.P. Lawsman's first touchdown? It was Jason Peters. He was the tight end. But we drafted him later rounds, went on to become a Hall of Famer. It wasn't with the Bills, but is a future Hall of Famer. So I would say my wild card is Jason Peters as far as draft picks.
My wild card, even though I wouldn't say top 5, but wild card player to Antoine Winfield. He won the Super Bowl, didn't he?
Yeah, and
he won the Super Bowl.
Ooh, and he's at Ohio State.
Yeah. So Antoine Winfield was that boy when he was with Buffalo, man.
That is a good one.
I mean, he was dynamic all the way till he retired.
Yeah.
I mean,
first round pick out of Ohio State. One of my favorite players at Ohio State too. So absolutely. What about Marshawn Lynch? Remember him?
Lynch.
Yeah, we drafted him too.
Yep, Lynch definitely gets in there. Yep.
A lot of guys you could throw in there.
Now, we talked about this last week because we did the Kelly versus Allen comparison, and this is what made it very difficult. I mean, we see the potential. Athletic-wise, Bruce Smith and Josh Allen are probably the most athletic players we've ever had. Let's be honest.
That's fair.
They are probably the most dynamic athletic players we ever had. Some may say Marshawn Lynch or Willis McGahee, but Eric Moulds. Some may say those guys are dynamic as well. Terrell Owens, we had him for a year. Really wasn't really long, but I mean,
dominant player as far as dominance. Bruce Smith scared people. He still scares people today. Like, that dude is still scary. He like 60 something, and he's still scary. So yeah. Somebody said Joe Cribbs. Shout out to Cookie Gilchrist and Joe Cribbs. Shout out to both of them.
Yeah, they were some freak athletes too. Joe Cribbs was nice. Again, he played in the era where you lost to Miami 20 straight times. Yeah. So I mean, and Miami was really good in the 70s.
Yeah, guess we kind of turned that around now, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, guess we kind of turned that around.
Yeah, so it's like, yeah. You got to look at the errors, too, when you mention. I mean, you can mention certain players, but this is why I said nobody from the early 2000s like Eric Moulds or Schobel or Kyle Williams. They don't get in. They're talented players, but they don't get into that top 5 because their team didn't elevate because of them, obviously.
But them as a player elevated. Like Kyle Williams was a nobody. He was an AU guy in training camp. He was an AU, A95. Get in there. He was an AU guy. He was the guy you put in the fourth quarter. AU, you play yet? Get in there. And he became one of the best defensive tackles in football.
What do you think about the Biscuit? Do you think the Biscuit? I think the Biscuit was a possible nomination for Hall of Famer, but he don't make my top 5.
He was a great player. He's one of those guys. Cornelius Bennett, phenomenal player. It was a first round. He was a first round draft pick. Definitely a phenomenal player. I think he's in the Hall of Very Good. And the Bills have a lot of players in that hall. They got a lot of players in the Hall of Very Good, and he's one of those guys.
What about Ted Washington?
We didn't draft him.
We didn't draft Ted? No, we drafted Pat. We drafted Pat Williams.
Pat Williams. Ted Washington was drafted by the Cowboys.
Okay, yep, you're right. What about Pat? Would you put Pat in there?
No.
Pat don't make it?
No, he don't make it. Oh, Reuben Brown. He was good. Again, Hall of Very Good. He was very, very good. Very, very good at his position.
I mean, you got a lot of Hall of Fame players that we didn't mention. But top 5 is tough, man. I think our top 5 is pretty solid. I think it's pretty official.
I think it's solid. I think it's solid. Bruce at the top.
I mean, it's hard to compare anybody. It's hard to take anyone who went to 4 straight Super Bowls off that list that was a key contributor. Thurman, Kelly, Reed, Bruce. It's so difficult to take them off of any Bills list because
I'm gonna be honest. Josh Allen wins the Super Bowl. Kelly's legacy, I think he erases it. I don't think he erases
he doesn't erase
it. I don't
it.
think he erases it.
He surpasses it though. Easy surpass. I mean, if he wins a Super Bowl this year, he surpasses Jim Kelly. I mean, he's going to break every Jim Kelly record this year, more than likely.
Probably, yeah, definitely.
So
definitely.
I mean, you know, it's. But I don't think he erases it. Not at all.
Jim Kelly walked so Josh Allen can run.
Yeah.
I mean, it took us 17 seasons, people. 17 seasons to find our guy. We finally got him. Let's not let him play this preseason.
Yeah, man. Scott said our top 5 was pretty well set. You know, look, man, I know a lot of people. I read this blog, and it mentioned the Josh Allen versus Jim Kelly thing, and I said it last week, and I'll say it again right here on the show, that to beat a man, you got to beat the man. You got to surpass his accomplishments. It's not just about talent. There's a lot of guys with talent. Do we remember in the 80s when, you know, Michael Jordan couldn't get over the hump? He couldn't get past the Celtics. They were saying this guy is so talented. He's the best player, individual player, but he just can't beat these teams, certain teams. And he didn't really get that greatest of all time until, you know, he started to win championships. And that's what it's going to come down to for Josh Allen in order for him to surpass Jim Kelly.
I disagree.
He's got to win some championships.
When Josh Allen retires, he's going to be known as the Bills' greatest quarterback. He's better than Jim Kelly. I'll say it. He's better than him. Overall. He's a better overall quarterback. If I had to choose between Josh Allen and Jim Kelly, I want Josh Allen on my team.
I mean, yeah. I mean, obviously. So you're talking talent, though.
Exactly. That's what
you're talking talent, but
player. He's a better player than Jim Kelly.
That is true. That is absolutely true.
So when he retires, he's going to be known as the best quarterback the Bills have ever had.
So that very well may be true. But we're talking about today. We're talking about today. What up, Joey? In the 12-man mafia. Here's the thing. We have to look at it as it's twofold. It's what have you done? Okay. When I'm looking for somebody on a job application as, you know, applying for a job, it's not just about your skill set. It's about what you've done consistently over a period of time. So your body of work matters. And Jim Kelly has a body of work that Josh Allen has not topped yet. Talent-wise, we know that. But there's certain levels of the game that Josh Allen has not reached yet to say he's better. You got to reach a certain level in order for me to say you're ready for that.
You're absolutely right. So let's look at it like a job application. Okay, we got Jim Kelly here. We got Josh Allen here. Okay, Jim, let's see. Why should you be the best player the Bills have ever picked? Let's talk about your work history. Oh, you don't really want to work here. Oh, you're gonna go play at another job for 3 seasons. Gotcha. Okay. Well, when that league folds, you know, we'll be here. We'll draft you anyway. Oh, you don't want to come to Buffalo or Cleveland? Oh, you're from Miami? Oh, but you grew up in Pennsylvania. Okay, all right. But when you do come here, oh, what's up? Oh, you're doing great work here. Doing great work. Great work on your team. Oh, it's a little roughy. You got into it with other coworkers, you know, but you know, we built something special here. Just couldn't get over the hump, but we built something special. Josh, how you doing? Oh, nobody wants you. Everybody doesn't want you here. Oh, we should have picked another Josh in the draft that nobody can remember if he even drafted you. Okay, cool. Oh, you come in. Started out hot. Like what you're doing, bro. Like what you're doing. I don't know, man. You call off a little too much. I don't know. But, I mean, you turned it on a little bit. You've been doing a great job. Forget about all the times, you know, you messed up on the job and made some mistakes. And, you know, we just put a 0 every time a mistake was made. It's all good. It's all good. Oh, you kind of coming on. It's kind of your thing now. It's kind of your team now. Just waiting for you to elevate, bro. Gonna elevate. I don't know. I kind of want Josh Allen. He sounds better.
Well, you know, again, you're looking at it from the perspective of a guy whose career is finished and a guy whose career is not.
Fair.
So it's it's really tough to say. To me, I look at things a little bit differently. I look at things like, okay, you have a talent. Like we always have this debate between Andre Reed and Eric Moulds. We have the debate between Randy Moss and Jerry Rice. You know, Jerry Rice, no doubt to me, is the very greatest receiver of all time. You will say Randy Moss because he has the better talent. Talent-wise, skill set-wise, makeup, the way he's built, yes, absolutely. Skill set, absolutely. And people make the same comparison to LeBron and Michael Jordan, right? Skill set, LeBron is bigger, stronger, faster, but doesn't make you better. You know, so again, we got to be very careful when we do that because again, you cannot negate. In order to be better than someone, you got to be able to replace them to an extent. And I don't see that right now.
What do you mean replace? I don't understand. What do you mean replace him?
You got to take their spot. You got to take their spot,
bro. He's taking.
You got to take their spot. You got to, you know what I'm saying? You got to take their spot. And now he ain't there yet. So but his trajectory is going that direction.
Answer this question. Answer this question. Let's swap the careers real quick. You put Josh Allen on a 90s team. Do we win one of those Super Bowls? Absolutely.
Different era.
Don't matter.
Different era.
I'm talking about player for player.
Different era.
Okay. Now you put Jim Kelly in this era. Do we even reach the Super Bowl?
Different era.
With this team?
Possibly.
Moving the goalpost. Now we're moving the goalpost.
Possibly. I mean, I don't know. I really can't say. It depends if he has the K-gun offense. If he had an offense that works for him, who knows? You know, so again, we can go on and on with this, but again, right now, I'm not unseating someone who has been solidified in Buffalo Bills history. Josh Allen, you know, we know how talented he is. We know the greatness that he's displaying right now, but he's still got a ways to go to be the greatest Bills quarterback of all time, in my opinion.
I would say, Jim, don't get comfortable on that throne. Don't get comfortable. You had it for a long time.
I think he's been uncomfortable for a while.
You had it for a long time, Jim. You got this young guy. He's walking up the steps. He's walking up the steps right now, Jim. Don't get comfortable on that throne.
Yeah. It's a very great debate, and we'll see how the season projected. Hopefully, we're talking about Josh becoming the greatest Bills player of all time, because right now he's a top 5 quarterback in his league going into his 6th season, and he's doing amazing things. That'll do it for Cousin Brad and myself. Buffalo Against the World. We're here every Monday. We are brought to you by Monster Energy Drink, the official energy partner of the Built in Buffalo platform. So we'll be back next week, and we'll have some reports from the red and blue game. Right? Is it red and blue game? Yeah, we'll be there on the 2nd, so we'll bring some reports to that. Hopefully, some of these injuries come off the injury report, and we see some more position battles.
All
right. So make sure you like, share, subscribe to the channel, the Built-in Buffalo platform, which brings you Buffalo Against the World. This is Kulu and Cuzn Brad. We out.